So this video is going to be all about how to get over the coronavirus anxiety, the fear and uncertainty that you feel, but mainly around that anxious feeling. So if you're feeling that right now and you're watching this is my 10 top tips to try and help you overcome that anxiety and that anxious feeling, and keep on watching. One is just to accept what is going on, and almost just to give yourself permission to accept that this is happening around the world. Like, obviously it's not an ideal situation, no one likes this, but we're all in the same boat. If you are able to just accept what is happening and be content with what is happening, then you'll be able to slowly reduce the levels of anxiety down, and it can massively help you just be okay with it. It's one thing I say to myself every morning, that, you know, if I start feeling anxious or have anxiety, it's just to give myself permission to be like, it's okay, I'm okay, I can't control what's happening right now. I can't control what's happening out there, but I can control what's happening within me. And what I do on a day-to-day basis, I can control that. So just be okay with it and just accept the fact that this is out of your control, and be okay with that. Number 2 is to structure your day. Super important. I structure my day. Ideally, I try and do it on a Sunday evening or afternoon. I'll structure my whole week out, but if not, I know things come up, I always do it the night before. I'm always structuring, so I know exactly what I'm going to do the next day. I know exactly what I'm working on. This way, it just shifts your mindset to be, I'm happy and content to go to bed, wake up tomorrow morning to know that I can, and I will have a plan. I have a plan of what's happening the next day, and I can really action it. Have a calendar, write down when you're going to have lunch, write down when you're going to go for a run, write down when you're going to go for a walk and take a break. Put 2 hours in the diary to block out for content creation. That's something I do, and it's super important that I have that structure in my day. Like right now, filming this, I know I've got 2 hours in my morning to block out to create this video. Just knowing that is helping me being able to focus on it and not focus on what's going on in the outside world at the moment with the coronavirus. So number 3, so important, exercise. Do some form of exercise, and I know there's a lot of stuff going around online at the moment with virtual PTs doing 10, 20, 30 minute workouts, fitness. For me personally, what I do 3 days a week in the mornings, I'll go for a 20-minute, half-hour run. It's all I do, 2-3 miles. All I do just to get out the house, have that fresh air, put your headphones in, and even if you're just going for a walk, like just go for a walk for half an hour, 20 minutes, do some sort of form of exercise at home. I don't think there's any excuse for anyone not to do any exercise unless you live in a household where there's literally no space. But if you're watching this and you've got space in your house, a yoga mat size space is more than enough to be able to do some exercise. And there's so many videos online, so many videos on YouTube, so many PTs out there going virtual. There is no excuse, but it will help you reduce your anxiety levels and reduce that anxious feeling, and also just take your mind away from what's going on out there. Number 3 is exercise. Number 4 is something which I've been doing since this whole started, when we went into lockdown. We're now 2 weeks into lockdown here in the UK. It's just to connect with people. I know you can't see anyone or go near anyone at the moment, but I target myself every day to FaceTime 5 different people every day. If they're the same people every day, that's fine, but it's still just having that FaceTime, even if it's for 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I know there's a lot of Zoom parties going on at the moment, and Zoom calls and FaceTime, and this house party app is going bomb. The CEO of the house party app must be super happy that it's literally gone viral overnight. But it's super important to just have that time where you're just spending, socializing, speaking, talking to someone else that's in the same situation, because we're all in this together. Number 5 is your diet. I have noticed a lot of people are eating takeaway food, junk food, crisps, sweets, chocolates, biscuits. I get it, like you're working from home or you're being isolated at home, you're in the relaxed mode, you want to just indulge, but I promise you now, like, that does not help your anxiety. That only suppresses everything that you do. It just makes you feel more fatigued, suppresses your mood, doesn't want to make you get up and be active. It almost puts you in a state of mind where you start thinking about a lot more stuff, because if you're sitting on the sofa not doing anything, you're going to start watching the news, you're going to start thinking about what's going on outside. So really just be mindful of what you're consuming. I know we're limited to a certain amount of food at the moment, and obviously what you can take and what you can buy, but do your best to try and keep a healthy, balanced diet. I was the same. Like, I started eating those ready meals and biscuits and chocolates, and I just thought, oh right, this is it, this is what it is, but then I realised actually what was happening over a couple of days is that I started getting really, really tired and really fatigued, and I didn't really want to do anything. I didn't really want to get up and work. And what happened after that is that I started thinking about what was going on in the outside world. Again, something which I can't control, but I can control my diet. Number 6, big one for me. I had a really bad moment where about 2 weeks ago, before we just went into lockdown, when it was getting really serious in the UK, that I was watching the news pretty much for 4 or 5 hours straight. I was on social media. There was so much negativity in social media, so much negativity in the news, and it was too much. It was literally just getting drummed in. It was the same repetitive, regurgitated information. It was so powerful. The negativity was so powerful. It just got me in like the mood where I was just like, this is horrible. So what did I do? I changed, I shifted. I woke up the next morning, I felt horrendous. Like, my vibe and my mood was so low. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to feel productive. My anxiety level started creeping up, and I was just like, okay, stop. Important to just eliminate, ration, reduce the amount of news, reduce the amount of social media you intake. Yes, look, you can't control what's going on outside, but you can control the amount of time you spend watching the news, and the amount of time you spend on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube watching videos about it. Now I only watch half an hour a day, and it's just the press conference, the announcement, so I know I can keep up to date with what's going on. And actually, I'm pretty bored of watching it. If you find yourself getting sucked into the news and getting sucked into social media and all this negativity, conversations around coronavirus, then I just advise you, in order to reduce your anxiety levels, just to slow it down. I'm not saying don't watch any of it, because I do think you still need to be up to date with it and be able to accept what's going on and construct your mindset to be, okay, fine, well, this is happening, I can watch the announcement, but I don't want to hear the same stuff, the amount of death that's going on. I want to hear the good news, like what the NHS are doing, like how many people are being saved, how many people are, coming out of hospital. The kindness that's spread around this world at the moment is so powerful, so powerful, and there's so much out there. I found it, and it's so powerful, and it just spreads that positive energy and that positive vibe, and that's what is so helpful to help reduce the anxiety. Number 7 is have a morning routine. If you find yourself waking up in the morning, all of a sudden you're getting on your phone, going straight onto Facebook, going straight onto Instagram, looking at the news straight away, try and wake up in the morning, the first hour, and don't look at your phone. Obviously, if you have your alarm on your phone, great, wake up and just don't look at social media. Have a morning routine. When I get up in the moment, I wake up slightly earlier than my alarm is usually set. It's about half an hour earlier. I'll make time to go and exercise. I'll make time to have a coffee. I make time to do some form of meditation or yoga or stretches, whatever it might be that works for you. There's so much content and so much information out there on YouTube at the moment where you can see like morning routines that can really help you. So find what works for you. I know some things that I do might not work for everyone, but in order to reduce your anxiety levels, if you start your day right and you have that morning routine and you're not used to that morning routine, try and think about what might help you and what can really assess of what's happening to your anxiety level. Number 8, one thing I did was started having a 24-hour social media news detox, and it was the point where I just wanted to have no contact with the outside world in terms of social media and the news and the environment and what's happening with COVID-19, and I just didn't want any of it. So I have a 24 hours, so my day is usually a Sunday, my rest day anyway, but now just eradicating all of that just doesn't pollute your mind with all the garbage information you just don't need. Pollute your mind with the good stuff, the positive stuff, the happy stories, the happy vibes. That will in essence really just punch through that anxiety and give you that good feeling which you know you've had before and you know you can have again. But you can start doing that, but that's a really powerful tip which I know some of my clients has worked on as well. So tip number 9, this one was quite an interesting one because I actually had a conversation with someone. They said they're staying in bed all day. Their anxiety's got that bad that they actually don't want to get out of bed. The problem with that is that if you're going to curl up in a ball and sit in your bed and watch TV and watch Netflix and consume all this content which is not doing you any favours, it's not going to help. Try and limit when you get into bed, like don't read a book in bed, like try and get into bed as you normally would do in the evenings. And I know people are working from home, I know people are isolated at home, and I know some people can't even work, so sometimes it's an easy option, but make that constant commitment to get up out of bed and try and get on with your day, and then get back into bed in the evening when you normally do is super important, and that can really help reduce the anxious feeling as well. And number 10, big one, saving the best till last, look out for others. When I say that is that everyone is in the same position at the moment. If you are able to go and have a conversation with someone, whether it be a family member, whether it be a friend, whoever it might be, if you're looking out for others, you kind of forget that you are feeling anxious and you've got anxiety, because helping someone else can bring you so much more joy than anything else in this world. And I promise you that now. It's one of the reasons why I do these videos. If this video has helped you and it's helped you reconstruct or shift your mindset, give some of those tips a try. Like, they may not work for everyone, I understand that. These are the ones that worked for me and what I found have worked for me, just going through the process of having high anxiety levels and having that moment where you just feel so tired and fatigued and overwhelmed with the situation. Looking out for others can really just plow through that brick wall to be able to forget that you're feeling anxiety and you're feeling anxious, and just again reduce your levels of feeling anxiety. So I hope this video has helped you. Please leave me a comment below. I really want to know if you've used any of these tips and if it actually works with you. It'd be very interesting to see. If you've got any questions, I have opened up my coaching practice for some free calls. I'm not charging anything. I'm trying to do my bit to help people with the anxiety, the fears, uncertainty. It's kind of something I've been doing for the last 2 years anyway with a lot of my clients, just on different occasions and different topics. Obviously this one's a big one. You know, please do reach out. Let's have a conversation. I will help as many people as I can, absolutely. Make sure you keep it tuned for the next video next week. It's going to be a big one. I hope this has helped. Thank you. Take care.